That's crazy. Okay, in preparation for a video I'm doing on Jazmine Sullivan, like a deep dive on her, I'm trying to do like a chronological type thing. And so let's just give this a kind of a look-see here. This came highly recommended.
Accept what God allows.
Oh man, that's really clever. Very kind of not very bright vowels, right? And then contrasting that, which is a very mature artistic decision. She's contrasting at last with God allow, right? That it's a little bit of aryepiglottic sphincter. This right here, you can contract that and get a really nasty, bright, brassy sound. And then she widens her lips like that to get a super bright vowel. Very mature decision making at such a young age. That's really cool.
Even you, when you don't understand it and it's working for your good.
Man, her vowels are so clean. So another term for vowels is like placement, right? And oftentimes that's what students are going to hear from a lot of different teachers. Or if they read online, it's like forward tongue or placement. I usually just say vowels because I think it's way easier to talk about. Let me see if I can get like a good shot of it. So the tongue is made up of a couple of different parts. We have the tip, the blade. This is from forward to back. The tip, the blade, the dorsum, and the root. Okay, when you sing, ideally the dorsum and the root just stay really forward. If you say your name, like Lesage, you say your name all the time, throughout your life, you say it really efficiently. So if you say your name, chances are the root and the dorsum in the right place. And then when you sing, though, that's really hard because breath pressure can put all that stuff backwards. This stuff sounds really simple, but it's a balancing act that's really, really, really difficult. And these are incredible fundamentals. I think everyone always wants to do what Jazmine does with all these different colors. And if you don't have your fundamentals down, you're not going to be able to do all of the different things that she is able to do to play with tone and color. You have to have really rock solid fundamental technique. And those bright vowels give her incredible intonation. If you bring your tongue back, chances are you're going to go flat unless you compensate for it in another way. But she's right on the money.
Accept it even now. He'll give you. He'll give you.
That sound can be really dangerous if you're not doing everything else perfectly. So that distortion comes from the contraction of the false folds. This is really popular sometimes people use it in R&B. It's very popular in rock and roll. So the false folds in R&B, in classical music, and in jazz tend to be far apart, retracted. And so right now I'm having them kind of neutral. This is my speaking voice. Most of us have it neutral. If I wanted to sound like an inner world guy, I'd have them apart, and that gives us a smooth radio voice. But what she's doing is she's putting them together, and you can actually feel this. Hold your breath for a second. Right here at the base of your throat, you feel that closure? Those are the false folds closing. And what she's doing there, what she did there, let's go back and hear it again. You hear that? That's so hard to do safely. You have to have your vowels right. You have to be incredibly gentle about your air because you're doing something that is really inefficient to get that tone color. I would demonstrate it, but like I'm not that good and I worry, like I'm going to be careful. I'm just going to own that I don't practice this a lot, and I would practice it in the low range before you go up top because this can hurt you. This is playing with fire. She's just able to do it because she's that good. Just be honest with yourself and play it safe. Practice it in the lower register very gently and take your time. This is not a plaything. She's just that good.
He'll give you a smile.
And then releases it, opens the false folds, getting the vibrato in there and warming up the word smile. Yes. The run there is beautiful, but I love this little moment of here where she lets her voice kind of crack and yodel a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like right there, right there. And I hate to repeat it one more time, except I really don't. I love to repeat it. I'll repeat it as much as I want to. Except this is the camera angle I was going for. This is what I was looking at, but I was looking in the wrong camera. No, but, okay, but real talk, like, it's not just the yodel thing. Listen to how she's right there with the rhythm section. You hear that kick drum? That's her timing it. The kick drum comes in, she's off. That's called musicianship, folks. I think it's fair to say she's a prodigy, right? That's not an outrageous statement. I love that. So again, contrast. This is so smart, right? Her run is, again, that brassy brightness. She's actually doming the soft palate to intentionally get nasality. So, okay, soft palate. You can feel this, all right? Do an inhale K, all right? Say a K, but inhale it. That lifting that you feel, that's the soft. Conversely, if you kind of do like a sound, like you're kind of grossed out or trying to be like, you know, impersonating someone who's dumb, that's your soft palate drooping. Now, obviously, she's not trying to sound dumb, right? But I'm just trying to get you to feel that motion. What she's doing is right, but like way better because I don't usually sing with my soft palate down. It's an affectation that's very common in R&B, but usually nowadays in neo soul, they reserve that little drooping of the soft palate for the high notes to kind of round out the phrase. What she's doing right here is different. What she's doing here is she's using it to get like a nasal sound. So this is different than the epiglotic sphincter that I was talking about before. You hear what I'm kind of saying? You hear that sound? So she's doing that there. Now listen to how she's just going to have the most open, warm sound. Contrast, right? Contrast. You want to make cool artistic decisions? Contrast. Gorgeous. Unbelievably, like that is such a good vowel open. The false folds are open. The tongue is forward. Little vibrato. Your trial is but a stepping stone. Belt. This girl knows how to. So the belting is different than. There are two different ways to hit high notes. You can belt, which I am learning to do. Don't know how to do it yet because I trained in opera, and opera is very different. We use what's called the thyroid tilt. And the thyroid tilt is definitely not exclusive to classical music. It's used in jazz, R&B. I mean, pretty much any genre that isn't just belting straight musical theater. It just sounds a little bit more traditional. Like right? We've all heard that kind of sound before. Nice and clean, warm. So she does that on that plan, on the word plan, and then she changes it to a belt because she can. And it sounds cool. It will lead you. I might only be 11 years old, but I come to tell you that it'll lead you. And she knows how to work a crowd at 11. I mean, come on. This is why, like, Jazmine Sullivan makes every singer feel insecure about themselves for this exact reason. Like, her technique is phenomenal. She has an arsenal of sound. She's got this paint color thing, canvas thing that's huge. Just so many colors, so many tones, so many different decisions that she can make. And it's soulful. And she's working the crowd. At 11, she's got everything. And yet what's crazy is that when she's older, she's actually much, much better than this, which is nuts to think about. And then at the end, we go back to like playing with vowels. You can actually see it with this side. This is a great shot. You can see how she's like kind of playing with the vowels here to round it out, pursing the lips. Right?